afraid of? Are you afraid of who you are? Or are you afraid of who the world wants you to be? Today's conversation is about something I read. If y'all have not read the book called The 50th Law by Robert Greene and 50 Cent, better known as Curtis Jackson. And so what I am talking about today is fear. And the 50th Law is about fearlessness, being fearless in the midst of anything that you are confronted with. Anything that you are confronted with. And they really put this book together really well. And so in the book, one of the quotes, one of the people that they quote is Malcolm X. And they quote Malcolm X talking about fear. And what he says is that over you is the greatest enemy that a man can have. And that is fear. I know that some of you are afraid to listen to the truth. You have been raised on fear and lies. But I am going to preach the truth to you until you are free from that fear. That was a quote from Malcolm X. And I thought it was so profound because it is so true. And one thing that we don't do is we don't personify fear. We think this fear is this nebulous kind of like spiritual entity, and we don't really take it serious. But we were not ever meant to live with a fearful attitude, and most of the world is living with a fearful attitude. But when fear is personified, it can be confronted. Did y'all hear what I just said? Because you would not let anybody else treat you the way fear treats you. I'm going to let that sit there and marinate with you just for a second. And I'm going to say it again. You would not let anyone on this earth treat you the way fear treats you. Fear is an entity, a personality, a persona that should be confronted and not ignored. Because if you don't confront fear, what happens is it ends up consuming anything. And I do mean anything that could be a resource for you. Fear cannot be sustained in the presence of truth. Fear cannot be sustained in the presence of truth. Truth, like truth. So you have the truth and you have what's true. The truth and what's true are two totally different conversations. The truth is what God intended for you. What's true may not be what God intended for you. What's true is that you have less than maybe $10 in your bank account. The truth is you are infinitely wealthy because all of the great ideas that God has planted in your inside of you as seeds that you haven't executed on yet, that will provide you more wealth than you can ever be able to handle. And so you have to differentiate between the truth and what's true. It's almost like differentiating between what's fact, and what's faith. Facts and faith are two different conversations. The truth is the light, and it doesn't need anything else to hold its own. What it does is, family, listen to me right here. When you're looking at the truth and not the fact, when you're looking at the truth, which is faith and not the fact, it opens doors of awareness. It makes things aware that was already there. It illuminates your access to what is uniquely and divinely yours. And when you're looking at fact, you're operating in a realm of fear. You're operating in a realm of what's limited to you. Just because you only see, let's say, less than $50 in your bank account, that doesn't mean it can't be approaching 7 figures within no time if you will only get beyond the personification of the fear that's holding you back from executing what is uniquely and divinely yours. And I know I just said a lot there. And I was so excited to come and give y'all this conversation. I remember, y'all know I'm a church girl. So, well, if you don't know, I'm a church girl, you know now. I grew up in a church and I was always the tallest person wherever I went. And one of the things that I was really self-conscious about was like my feet. If they fit my height, but to me, they were always big. And I used to see all of these girls and women with these nice, cute shoes. And so one thing I will always do when I go buy shoes, I will always buy shoes out. My parents would buy shoes and I told them they fit. In actuality, I bought them not because they fit. I bought them because they were cute. And how many of you have ever tried to fit your big feet in a pair of shoes that was too small for you? Can I get a witness? Well, I did that often. What I know that is when you are trying to fit your foot inside of a shoe and you get it in there and it's too small for you, the pain that you experience is all over your body from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, and that's all you can focus on. And that's what it's like when you avoid the truth. When you avoid the truth and you're always looking at what's true, it is uncomfortable. It is like squeezing your feet into a pair of shoes that are too small for you. And if you walk too far in those shoes, what is going to happen? You're going to experience so much pain that it pervades every part of your body. And that's what looking at facts is. That pain is in the form, fear dresses itself up. That pain is in the form of stress. That pain is in the form of anxiety. That pain paralyzes you. You can only take tiny little steps because the pain is so much that you can't move your feet but so far. Not only is it painful, but the discomfort of those shoes pressing in on your feet, which is too big for the shoe, it restricts how far you can travel in them. So the intended places that you're meant to go, you miss them. The sights that you're meant to see, you can't see them. And the dreams that were meant to be experienced, you can't experience them because you have chosen to squeeze your foot into a shoe that's too small for you, because you have chosen to look at the personification of fear as truth for you. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to begin to reframe your fear into a pair of shoes that we're going to call peace, which will allow you to travel to get the good news, which is the truth. So you will be fully prepared to travel as far as you need to see all that you were meant to, and to experience all the dreams that were promised to you. I want to leave you with this question. Is this good for anybody? If this is good for somebody today, I want you to put fire in the chat if this is good for anybody today. But I do put fire in the chat, but I do want to leave you with this question for you to answer, not for me and not for others in the community, but I do want you to answer this one for yourself. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of who you are? Or are you afraid of who the world wants you to be? That's it, fam. That's all I have for you today. And remember, the Begin Living Being You Challenge is August 6th. It starts at 6:30 for the VIP experience. Sign up for the VIP experience. You get all kinds of bonuses. I have some ebooks in there. I have my personal notebooks on Mindset Mastery Makeover. I have like so many other like really cool things in the bonus section. You'll get a login to the portal and you'll get a chance to review the videos for up to 3 months, and you'll get a one-on-one coaching session with me in the VIP bonus session. And guess what? It's only $97. It's only $97. You get all of that. 3 months access. You get a one-on-one coaching session. We can strategize on how to set up your asset in order for you to begin to sell that for people that really has an ear for what you have to say. And you can begin to help people by providing impact and spreading your influence and making some little bit of money for yourself. Like not a little bit of money, a lot of money. We've had some tremendous success in our group, in our coaching groups, where we've been able to help people do 5-figure days. And so if that's you, most of us spend our lifetime making, being happy with 5-figure years. Have you ever had a 5-figure day? I'm just saying. I have a new principle that I live by now. And that principle is it's a lot easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money over a long period of time. Wealth is all in the speed in which you're able to make it. I hope you enjoyed this conversation today on fear. Personify it. Don't let fear treat you just any kind of way, because you wouldn't let anybody else on this earth treat you that way. And if you are an employee, an educator, or an inspiring entrepreneur, this challenge is for you. And if you are really, really in the clutches of transitioning from being an employee from being an educator to creating an asset, an infinite asset. And really what that means, an infinite asset is where you create a product, a digital product based on your education, expertise, and experience in order to service other people with it. And infinitely, income follows that. As y'all know, income follows assets. So I just wanted to let you know. So if that's you, you really want to hop into our VIP experience, because an hour before the general admission challenge, which is free, we are going to be having conversations and questions from our VIP experience attendees on what they need to do to really position themselves to provide impact, influence, and income for themselves by creating these assets where they can really add value to other people's lives. The reason really why we're here is to service other people. So there is something that there is somebody on the inside of you that is meant to service other people. There is a you, like I've always said, there is a you in you that you haven't met yet.